Okay, now let's try to understand some real world examples of the cases where there is a contract criteria is not met but consideration is paid. Basically, the company has received the money but criteria are not met. So let's see first case of airline ticket company wherein the tickets are non-refundable. So for example, Delta Airlines is there and a customer go and buy a non-refundable ticket for $500 for traveling to another city. Now before travel, the contract criteria are not yet met because the travel has not been done, services are not being provided by the travel company. However, if the ticket is non-refundable and the contract terminates because let's suppose passenger cancels the tickets or he doesn't travel, then what will happen? You can simply say that the Delta will recognize $500 as the revenue. Why? Even the services are not being given, but why they will recognize it as the revenue? Because consideration is non-refundable. That is the first reason. And second, there is no performance obligation which exists on account of the Delta airline company because the customer voluntarily cancelled the ticket or forfeits his tickets. So basically this is a situation where the consideration is non-refundable, and all these cases which we will be studying below are those cases where contract criteria are not met but consideration is paid. Let's try to understand the second case where liability will be treated. So basically whatever money the company receive, that will be treated as a liability and revenue will be deferred. Let's take the example of Starbucks wherein a customer goes and buy a $100 Starbucks gift card. Now the gift card is like a item for which the Starbucks has received the cash, but still they need to perform their obligation because in future someone will come and redeem that gift card. Now Starbucks cannot recognize that revenue immediately. Why? Because no one has come to redeem that Starbucks card as of now. So what they will do, Starbucks will record this as a liability. They will say that this is my deferred revenue, this is not my revenue, or this is my liability as of now till the time someone come and redeem it. Now as the card is redeemed, the revenue will be recognized by the Starbucks. What will happen if the part of the card goes unused? That portion may later be recognized as a revenue as well. For example, out of this $100 Starbucks card, only $80 was used, and this scheme was to use this card till December end. Now the December has been passed away, so the remaining $20 cannot be used. So this is the situation where card goes unused and the portion may later be recognized as the revenue. So later this $20 will be recognized immediately as the revenue when the time pass will happen. Let's try to see the third situation where software as a service subscription paid in advance and revenue can be deferred. Now let's take the example of Adobe, and in the case of Adobe, a business goes and buys and prepays $1,200 for a 12-month Creative Cloud subscription, though business has taken this subscription for 12 months. Now at the inception, Adobe has received the cash, they have received the payment, but still they have not provided any services, any software access. So because this will be provided throughout the period of 12 months. Now since the obligations are still remaining, Adobe will again record this as a liability, or they will be calling it as a deferred revenue. And what they will be doing, they will be recognizing the revenue over the period of 12 months as this will be delivered. So these are three examples in which we saw that even the contract criteria are not met but the consideration is received, then what will happen? Now let's see the textbook concept or definition of this. So textbook simply says that if the criteria are not met but the customer has already paid the consideration, then what will happen? Then the revenue can be recognized if the consideration is non-refundable. We saw the example of airlines company above, the consideration was non-refundable, then revenue was recognized. Or there is no pending obligations to transfer goods or services, or the contract has terminated. Now the in case of Starbucks, there is no remaining obligations to perform, or after 31st December, the contract got terminated to use that Starbucks card. So basically these are two situations where revenue can be recognized and the money or consideration has already been received.